All right, so today we're diving deep into Elon Musk.
Okay.
And for this one, we've got a text that really lays out his career. I mean, we're talking all the major ventures and kind of trying to figure out what makes him tick.
Yeah, you see his name everywhere these days, and it's not
Yeah.
always for the same reason.
Exactly. And that's what I think makes this so interesting. We're going to see if we can distill, you know, the essence of his work, the
Mhm.
big contributions, how he approaches innovation.
Yeah. Find the common thread through all the chaos.
Right. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
The text mentions Zip2, this online city guide thing, way back when.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Compaq ended up buying it. So not rockets or anything, but a pretty solid start in tech.
Yeah, and the text even says that, that early success, it kind of gave him the capital and the confidence to really go for it with PayPal.
Okay, so PayPal, I mean, that's huge.
It is. I mean, think about it. Online transactions, how we pay for things online, basically his fingerprints are all over that.
Right. And even back then, the text emphasizes how much he focused on user experience, making it easy for people.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so then things get really interesting. Got to talk about SpaceX.
This is where it gets wild.
Right. I mean, the mission laid out in this text is basically to make space travel affordable, like really affordable, and eventually get people on Mars.
It's a crazy goal.
It is, but the text goes into how they're developing reusable rockets, which is a huge deal. And then there's Starship.
Starship, it's like this next level spacecraft, right?
Yeah, it's massive. And what's interesting is the text kind of argues that SpaceX isn't just about going to space, it's about changing who can go to space and why.
Right, democratizing it in a way.
Exactly. Okay, so then we have to talk about Tesla.
Yeah, the big one.
Right. And the text really frames their mission around sustainable energy, like pushing the world in that direction.
And they're doing it with electric cars that people actually want to drive.
Yeah.
That's the key part.
Absolutely. The text argues that Tesla's success has kind of forced other car companies to get serious about electric vehicles, too.
Yeah, they kind of set the standard.
And now you see electric cars everywhere. All right, and then there's the other ventures like Neuralink.
Brain-computer interfaces.
Right.
I mean, that's straight out of science fiction.
Yeah, and then the Boring Company with those underground tunnels.
Trying to solve traffic, I guess.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It is. And then, of course, there's the whole Twitter thing now, X.
Yeah, the text doesn't shy away from that. It mentions how controversial that whole acquisition has been.
Right. Lots of opinions on that one.
Okay, so we've gone through the ventures, but what are the core principles here? What's driving this guy?
Well, the text points to his big, bold visions and his willingness to take risks. I mean, he's not afraid to fail.
Right. And then there's the whole first principles thinking.
Yeah, basically breaking a problem down to the very basics and starting from there.
Instead of just doing things the way they've always been done.
Exactly. And then the timelines. He always sets these super ambitious deadlines.
It's like he's always in a hurry.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the text also mentions that he gets a lot of criticism for his leadership style and some of the things he says online.
Yeah, especially on social media.
Definitely a controversial figure.
But the text is clear about one thing. His impact on technology and the future is undeniable. Love him or hate him, he's changed things.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. So what's the takeaway here? I think it's that Elon Musk, he challenges the status quo like no one else. I mean, across all these different industries.
Right, and it all comes back to these huge goals he sets for himself and this really unique way he thinks about problems.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, something to chew on. Think about the first principles idea. We talked about how Musk uses it to solve these huge problems.
Right.
So what about you? Is there a problem in your life or your work that seems impossible? What happens if you break it down to the very basics? Could that help you see a new solution?
It's worth thinking about.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.